So I have been meaning to share a recap of my experience at Combo Breaker 2024, but it is 100% going to be a high point of my year. It was a lot of fun. Of course, I got to be surrounded by fighting game and fighting game fans for 4 days. Not to mention, I won free Chipotle for being good at a video game. Funny enough, I wasn't even planning on going to Combo Breaker originally. One morning in January, I logged on to twitter.com on my internet machine, and it was like 5 minutes before the hotel blocks went live. And I had no idea that the hotel registration site was about to go live. I just was on Twitter and coincidentally saw the tweet from the Combo Breaker Twitter account saying, hey, I'm able to secure 3 nights at the venue hotel. And I'm just like, I guess I'm going to Combo Breaker. So fast forward to Thursday, or day 0 of the whole Combo Breaker weekend. I got my flight out to Chicago, got to the first hotel that I was staying at, went to a pre-local, which was literally walking distance from my first hotel. It was called Combo Starter. Frankie G was running it. It was the first time I believe that they were doing it. Of the 3 games at Combo Breaker that I registered for, which were Guilty Gear Strive, Grand Blue, and KOF, Combo Starter was only running a Grand Blue bracket, which was fine. I saw it as a really good chance to sort of get some games in against really, really good players, and I mean really good players. My first match was against Have a Nice Day, who is probably one of the best players in North America, definitely one of the best of his character Jita. I lost that set 0-2, and then I lost the next set, so I went out at 0-2. I didn't win a set while I was out there, but it was okay. I think I took it pretty well. My losers match was against Belial, and as somebody who immensely hates that character, this was such a funny tournament to be at, because I kid you not, at one point I looked across all 3 setups that they had for Grand Blue, and Belial was on screen on all 3 monitors. One monitor had 2 Belials on there at the same time because they were running a mirror match. So it was very much just oops, all Belial, and I was miserable there. The next morning I was dreading because I had to do a lot in a very small time frame. I had to move from my first hotel to the venue hotel and get checked in, pick up my badge and get registered, and I had no idea how long that line was going to be considering how large this event is. My pool for Guilty Gear Strive was also the first block of the day. It was at 10 a.m. so I had to find a way to get at least a little bit of time to warm up or get casuals in before I entered the actual bracket. Not to mention I had to find some time to get breakfast in there because Papa gotta eat. I was fretting over nothing because I was able to take care of everything that I needed to. I forgot to mention all of my pools were that day and were pretty much back to back. I had my Strive pool at 10 a.m. Then I had my Grand Blue bracket at noon, and then my KOF bracket was at 3. My stretch goal for the event was to make it out of pools in one of the brackets, but realistically, I had the smart goal of winning 1 set in 2 of the 3 brackets, and I thought that it was going to be Strive and KOF. Strive was the game that I was the most confident going into, and that confidence was well placed because it was a quick 3-0 to start it off against Bedman. I literally was just like, I don't know what Bedman's gonna do to me, so I'm just not gonna let him do anything. So I just went in and I just did a whole lot of biking shenanigans. Then I played against Abba, who was another character that I didn't really prepare against, which I should have, considering that she was the newest DLC character and starting to sort of rise in popularity at that point. So that was a failure of preparation on my part. So I got sent down to losers, and I had to make a heck of a losers run if I wanted to make it out of pools for Strive. And honestly, it was looking pretty good for a little bit there because I beat Bedman again. I had to play against a Faust who tried to counterpick me with Nago, and I still 3-0'd them, which I'm super proud of considering how much I hate the matchup for Biken against Faust and Nago. And then I had to play against a Soul who is really, really good, and going into the bracket, that was one of the names where I was just like, I really hope I don't have to play against them. But then I ended up winning that 3-0, and I was I was flying high. So I had one more set to win to make it out of pools, and who was waiting for me? The ABBA that sent me to losers 3-0 in the first place. And unfortunately, I got double jeopardy, but it went to 5 games. It went to last round, just couldn't pull it through. Again, my lack of practice in that matchup got the best of me, but I was still pretty proud of how I performed. I was 1 game out of making it out of pools. It did suck in the moment, but I think I did handle it well, which is something that I've been really working on, so like I'd mentioned, it was going to be a quick turnaround from Strive to Grand Blue. This was the game that I was the least confident in, so I was like, you know what, if I go 0-2, it is what it is. I had already done pretty well in Strive, better than I thought I was going to do. So my round 1 of bracket, I cannot remember who they played, but I won that game 2-0. I think it was Gran. And already I'm just like, oh wow, cool, combo breaker goal accomplished. I won a set across 2 of my 3 games. Very, very cool. And then the stream runner comes over to the bracket runner and they were like, hey, do you have any games that we have for stream? And they point to my match because I'm still winner side, and they were like, yeah, we can run this one. And then she's like, do you want to run it on stream? Yeah, I guess. Like, what am I gonna do, say no? So I ended up playing against Anila on stream, which was great because Anila is a character that I am currently working on as a secondary, and I played against her a lot as Vera, and I won that 2 games to nothing. I'm still in winners at this point. So then I beat Zeta, which is another character that I'm pretty bad against. I won that one 2-0, and it was pretty convincing. So I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? One more set to win before I can make it out of pools on winner's side. If you make it out of pools, they give you a free entree card for Chipotle. And y'all, I love Chipotle, so I really did want to win this. But you will never guess what character was waiting for your boy. Mother f***ing Belial. It goes to last round, but just like the ABBA set in Strive, I couldn't quite pull it out. I made some mistakes towards the end of the set, but I still had a chance because that was winner's side. These are double elimination brackets, so all I had to do was win a set in losers and I could still make it out of pools. So I go up there and I see that my opponent plays Vayne. Again, this is another matchup that I am not super practiced in, so I was a little bit worried that my lack of matchup knowledge was gonna get the best of me. Before our set started, by the way, the building got hit by lightning, so we lost power at the venue and we had to basically wait for like 5 minutes for them to get everything back on and get the streams back running. And honestly, game 1 was pretty rough. Game 2 was much more in my favor, despite some more bullshit interactions that happened.
We've seen it a couple times. Giving Vayne space is not an ideal thing to do. And that's why
the arm destruction traded with the super, but Zoma was able to close things out. That would have been tragic.
Hey, man. Like I said, don't give Vayne space. That's what he wants. Why do you think he's got a shield? Yeah, I know you're upset about it.
Now game 3 happens. I'm 1 game away. Just 2 more rounds until I could get some sweet Chipotle and make it out of pools, man. So you can imagine that I was heavily annoyed that this ended up going to a last round situation.
You avoid the fireball. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. No way.
Yeah, it definitely worked out. Okay, now saw the stagger attempts coming through from Zoma. Huge damage, but now Zoma has Super Skybound Art and the meter to spend it. The Beam Super gonna close the door on the winner's side for OK now.
Yes, that's the one thing you gotta remember. Yeah, you better shake that hand. You thought you were slick. Yeah.
So I made it out of pools in a video game at Combo Breaker. And to celebrate, I bought myself some churro and some lunch. So then 3 p.m. was my KOF block. And at that point, I'm just like, whatever, man. I've made it out of pools for Grand Blue. Whatever happens in KOF, I don't care. Ended up going 3-2 in KOF. And I went positive in all 3 events that I entered. So not much to really ask for. And again, I'm made it out of pools. I won my Chipotle, damn it. Day 2 does come and I find out that my opponent is the 2022 Combo Breaker champion for Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo, and I lost that. It is what it is. I got further than I expected to, so I did my best not to let that loss hang over what was otherwise a really, really good run. But my time as a player was now over and I could just enjoy the rest of the event as a spectator, and it was a lot of fun. I got to cheer on one of my friends who had their KOF pool. They made it out of pools as well, and they were really, really close to top 16. I was able to buy some really cool merch, including this t-shirt, this Manon t-shirt, and of course I got one for Jury. These were both Combo Breaker exclusives by Yeti, so when I saw that they were Combo Breaker exclusive and also saw these really, really cool designs, I knew that I had to get it. And of course, what is a fighting game event if you don't pick up one of these cat charms that were made by Wave Chan or Irene Lee? Look, you got Permy right here. Then you got Rock Meoward. I needed them to complete the team because I already have Yamazaki or Palmazaki. I also bought a Vera one, but I lost it on the flight back to Atlanta and I'm so mad, but I'll just buy another one if I can. I also picked up some gourmet popcorn from a place called the Popcorn Baron. They have like 100 different flavors of popcorn, and apparently this place is a big deal because everybody was just like, dude, if you go to Combo Breaker, if you go to one of these events, you have to go to the Popcorn Baron. Like, you have to try it. It's unreal. The 4 flavors that I bought were chorizo, buffalo, key lime pie, and garlic bread, I think it was. And I kid you not, they all tasted like the flavors. Like, it did. The garlic butter, garlic bread popcorn really did taste like garlic bread. The key lime pie popcorn really did taste like key lime pie. It was really, really weird, but it was cool. And then day 3 was just me watching top 8. Grand Blue was the first one. The crowd was awesome. The energy was great the entire block, and it was just 10 a.m. It carried on into Strive, which was really, really cool. I got to be there for one of the greatest sets that will probably ever be played in Guilty Gear Strive between Slash and Zondo. I also got to see a cosplay contest. The whole event was just so much fun, man. All the while too, I got to meet some really cool people. I had ramen dinner with Rome and Animunk. I got to meet Yipes. I got to play a lot of casuals with some really cool people, and yeah, I just had a really cool time. Shout out to Rick, Eileen, and the whole team at Combo Breaker, because this was an event for the ages. And I'm not just saying that just because it was my first time there. People I know who have been to multiple Combo Breakers were like, yeah, this one was so much fun. Like, they're usually great, but this one was like one of the best that they've ever been to. So this is another reminder that fighting games exist outside of the online sphere. Again, it's great that we have rollback netcode and we have all these online tournaments, but I really cannot hammer home enough that y'all need to experience offline fighting games for you to get the full experience, to get the best part of what the FGC has to offer. And Combo Breaker is just such a great way for you to experience that. My next event planned is East Coast Throwdown out in Connecticut, so that will be very fun, and I've applied for commentary there, but if I don't get that, I'll just play games again.